Hi everyone, and welcome to Ethony's 31 Days of Tarot, and today we are at day 17 and we're sharing our tarot journals. And what I've laid out on the floor in front of me is not my tarot journals but my daily diaries, and they basically incorporate a little bit of everything, and I like having more or less all aspects of my life documented in one book for easy reference. Things like my friends' birthdays, daily occurrences, daily tarot draws, a few notes, perhaps just brief notes in this case, on the card that I drew and how my day panned out. So it might be just a documentation of my day, whether I struggle, whether I succeed. I put clients' bookings in, their name, their personal year, their date of birth, and maybe even a few key notes as to how that particular session went. Personal appointments, reminders, observations, really anything. In the beginning, I always put like maybe a quote or a picture or a few astro highlights, reminders, something to inspire me. This is from a calendar that I had, and oh my God, look at that. That's in Italy. It is so beautiful. And again, the notes, it's just notes. And not necessarily neat notes, but you can see in the end of this book, I placed like 2011, a whole bunch of notes I tucked away in the back there. Boxing Day tarot spread. If I have a dream that I document, I will just staple it into the book. And again, every year, this time I put a beautiful card there, a little bit of Chinese astrology for the year, and again, just notes, everything, you know, highlights certain things. There's another, look, I've done it again by putting a dream, now that I can't find it. Oh, isn't that wonderful? But yeah, I scribbled it out because I didn't want to forget the dream and plonked it in the front there. There's a spread. So I find this system very handy. But aside from that, I would document my tarot journaling, my tarot journey, my internal world into just a normal book that I, purchased, normal lined book. So there's loads of personal information in these particular books. Again, it's mainly tarot and astrology transits, where if I knew something big was happening, I'd start to document them in these books. It's not day to day, it's just whenever it happens. So, it's not a diary, there's no calendar in there per se, just the date. And then this is the diary that I bought for 2017. What a cutie. And it's just, again, it's just a day to a page. So I find them very, very easy to work with. And I think I'm going to continue that practice. And I could feel these changes swirling around. And I felt like, well, this is good and I want to continue, but there's something missing. It's not enough. Even these, I don't know. I just felt like I needed to structure it, but I didn't want it to be too restrictive. So I started what I called my self-mastery folder, and I did do a video on this if anyone's interested, and as you can see, I simply wrote this out myself. It's not even typed. There was a reason for it, and I just wanted to keep it fruity, friendly, honest, approachable, with a bit of structure. And by that I mean I organized, say, I'll just show you, I've only got a few highlights here from 2016 now. I did put this this picture, I love this image so much, and I just wrote this passage without even thinking, open your eyes to life, look within yourself and then look around you, for they are one and the same. And that really prompted me to keep on track with my my sort of personal journey, but knowing that I was in a year of change, and it was very, very important that I adhered to those changes. And as I shared earlier, I pulled the Tower card 3 times, and it might have even been 4, but 3 times I distinctly remember. And so I knew that there were going to be big shifts. So all in all, I documented, print out a calendar for every month and documented some astrology highlights, some astrological energies that were predicted for that month, just for me to observe not just those energies, but how I react to those energies, how I managed those energies. And you can see there's more over the page. Same thing in November. There's my astrology notes, and there's my, say, a birthday spread that I did. I did many birthday spreads, but that's one that I chose to sort of keep in this folder. Cards, astrology, mystery, all sorts of spreads, and a few incredible things that were going on for me at the time. There was a super full moon in Taurus, and I have the moon in Taurus, so I did a few spreads during that time. So there's all that kind of stuff that went on and on. You can see here I've got new moon wishes, and then I wrote about the new moon in Scorpio because I am a Scorpio. So it's during times like that that I find it's really important to document how you are feeling, how you're going, you know, in your world as a Scorpio while the new moon is in Scorpio. It's a new me, so to speak. But aside from that, I made up some pages to work with in this self-mastery folder, including daily draws, again, some daily observations through the cards though, daily gratitude, so on and so forth. And I did enjoy it, but I began to feel a little bit restricted by having to do a daily draw, having to do a daily gratitude, and da-da-da-da-da. And I thought, this is supposed to be soul-friendly. I need to make this more of a soul-friendly experience. So I've made a few changes for 2017, but what remains are my astrology page, excuse the spack attack of my printer, and what I did last year, and I'm continuing, is an observations page. Again, it's like a monthly page. On any given day, I can jot something down. It might be one line, it might be a full page. What I see, what I hear, whether it's above me or below me or within me, it's just an observation. It could be an observation about somebody else's behavior that triggered something within myself. And I might draw a card on that observation if I'm a little confused because I feel perplexed about something and I don't know why. So it's all still very tarot driven, but it doesn't have to be. And that's, you know, the rule is there are no rules. And then I created last year also a habit tracker. Whether I get a bunch of flowers or an uh-oh, it's really just keeping an eye on my routines. And I find that it's like a close companion to shadow work. So habit tracker and shadow work are hand in hand. And again, I can draw a card on absolutely anything. So there you have it. Now, the only other thing I was going to share with you, I decided to, as I started to say, it was getting a little bit too rigid with regards to daily this and weekly that, and I wanted to just soften the boundaries with my self-mastery folder and let the soul speak. I want it to be soul-friendly. And I found myself, without really planning to, when I didn't feel inspired to write every day or every week or whatever, you know, guidelines I set to myself, set for myself, I found myself at times doing a revision of the month. So here, May 2016, at the end of May, this is how I feel, right? So I typed out all this stuff and I thought, hang on a second, that's a good idea. Some months towards the end of the month were still very fresh in my mind, and I thought I don't have to document every single week if I don't feel inspired, because then it becomes this sort of forced obligation, and I don't want that. That's not what self-mastery is about. So I've decided to start a new page for this year, and because I'm such a bloody comedian, I named this Ponder Before You Go Yonder. So in this case, it's Ponder January. And I don't have to do it, but if I feel that I wasn't inspired to pick a daily card necessarily every day or whatever, but there's a whole bunch of things I want to document before I move on to February and start concentrating on my goals for February, this is my ponder page. So that's what I'm going to do for my 2017. So because I'll even document my feelings about, you know, my friend's passing and how I dealt with it, etc., etc. So this is my page for 2017. Very basic. Slow down, simplify, and study. 3 main focuses for me. I put this image here. I've had it on my fridge for a long time. This beautiful golden emperor, and to me, he looks very strong, very sturdy, but he's also contemplative, isn't he? He looks very knowledgeable, but I feel like there's so much stillness in his mind, and that's a huge inspiration to me for this year. The butterflies are to remind me, well, transformation, lift off, keep it light, play, dance around. And I put this little tag. I give these to my clients when they roll over into a new personal year, and I'm in a 6 years, so that's just to remind me what it's all about. On the inside, I just put this image that I have had for so long, just sitting there in a folder doing nothing. And because I want to do some study this year, I love this image, and it reminds me that everything is interconnected. It reminds me about all the metaphysical subjects that I love. And this is my card for the year. I open new doors to life. I brought over my prayer by Carolyn Mace. I love this Hover Over Me God prayer. So yes, I will remind myself of that during this year. Same thing as last year, books to read, books to buy, notes to self. And this is a spread that I just wrote out yesterday, and I'm going to draw some cards today. It's more or less traveling around the astrological wheel. What do I need at this time in those areas? And the reason I did that is because the year has been a little bit challenging, emotionally draining, and a little bit heady. So I thought, I'm not asking what is there. I'm asking what do I need in the first house of self, in the second house of securities and finance. You know, immediate environment, home, family, feelings, romance, creativity, my daily life. What do I need there? What do I need in partnerships and inner balance, and so on? So I'm looking forward to doing that spread in the afternoon when things quieten down. And other than that, all I've managed to do is place some, instead of printing out monthly calendars, I just took them out of a calendar, a wall calendar that I have. I've put my friends' birthdays and the new moon and the full moon. That's all I've done. This is the other page that I didn't share with you before. Tarot Insights for me is any tarot spread I do at any time. So I'll always start new Tarot Insight page every month, and I might have 5 pages of spreads. I might have 10, I might have 1 per month. It doesn't matter. It's just as it comes. And I really do enjoy documenting them. I certainly did last year. There it is. There's my shadow work page. So it's all ready to rock and roll for 2017. And there's the observation. So there you have it. That's my self-mastery folder as it stands. And if I choose to change it during the year, well, so be it. And you know what I might do, just as a quick add-on? I bought a tarot diary. It's like a PDF that you can print out last year from cosmictarot.k. I'm going to start that again. cosmictarot.co.uk, as in this. And I just didn't use it. And I don't know why. I just didn't get around to it. I was doing, you know, this and my daily diary. So I kind of forgot I bought it, to be honest with you. But it's still really good. And it's like a daily diary. Like you get things like every day you can document your day. You could do a daily draw. She puts the full moon, you know, the new moon, etc. and so on. Some other astrological energies and tips. And lucky for me, there's no date in these work pages. You can see here she put there's a new moon in Pisces, and the corresponding card is the Moon and the Knight of Cups. And then there's a spread that you can do. What's the issue? What's my goal? Action to take. And there is the qualities of the Knight of Cups that will assist me in achieving my goals this month. So, because there were no dates written last year, we still have this year another new moon in Pisces. But this year it happens to be a new moon solar eclipse in Pisces. So, of course, I wrote that and the date and 8 degrees Pisces. And as we go down again, there's a full moon in Virgo, and Virgo, this card is associated with the Hermit and the Knight of Pentacles. So I wrote it's going to be on the 9th of March, 22 degrees Virgo, so on and so forth. So I was able to recycle all but 2 of those pages. So that's what I'm going to include. I'm sorry, this camera is doing its best to stay in focus. I'm going to implement these into my working folder rather than just doing a freehand spread for the new moon and the full moon. So I really think that's about it. Due to the fact that things have been so busy and it has been so hot, today is a beautiful sunny day, high 20s, loving it. I'm about to go to the beach and go for a swim. Last week, well, up until, it's Sunday today, last week it was between 38 and 40 degrees every day. It was so, actually it was over 40 degrees on a couple of days. It was so disgustingly hot. I couldn't sleep. The minimum was 32 degrees. My camera was overheating. I've actually filmed this like 4 times. My camera was cutting out. So I am behind, but I have my brain back. I'm not sweating. I just feel like me again. So thanks to all of you who are watching this, because I know it's late delivery. But, oh, God, I hope that's the end of that for this summer. Anyway, thank you, people. I hope you're all well, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.